Hey everybody. So got this MiniGT Audi RS6. It's a fantastic model. I do love it. The only issue is the you know wheels on this thing, although they are pretty similar to what actually comes on the real car. I just find them to be extremely ugly. They're just not to my liking. So nothing against really Mini GT. They copied what the Audi did in the real world. I just don't like them. So I think this will be an interesting candidate to do a wheel swap on. So I looked on the internet, and there's this brand here, WORDC or WORDC. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that. And these are kind of similar looking, but they look a lot cooler, I think. They're still angular, like the car itself, but let's see how they end up turning out. One thing I'm concerned about, though, with these Word C wheels are they're staggered. I think they're originally designed for Hot Wheels, and as Hot Wheels, the rear wheels are very often larger, wider, and taller in many instances than the front wheels. So you'll notice here the rear tire here is naturally those are two rear tires, but so the front tire, right, is clearly a lot thinner or less wide than this rear tire. So looking at the bottom of this car, the fronts won't be an issue because they're actually similar in width, but maybe the back actually won't be an issue because it looks like Mini GT has this little stepped edge to help it, I guess, spin easier against the friction of the base plate. So maybe it'll be alright. But I guess it'll be relatively simple to find out because this base is screwed together. Although this is a mystery. Where's the other screw? Hopefully it's just like a tab inside. There's only one way to find out, right? I had to do this off camera because I needed both hands. It was really kind of hard to do, but this piece is held down with like an elastic type of glue. It's kind of, I'm not sure if it's silicone or what, but it's rubbery. So what I did is I put my fingernails right on the exhaust tips just to see if it would budge a little bit, and it did. And so I got it just enough of a lip opened that then I took these metal tweezers and I kind of pried it under all the edges here. I went like this and I just kind of levered it up. But now if you can see where the mounting points are of this thing, if you do this yourself, just try to lever it right around here and maybe right around there. You don't really want to lever on the exhaust tips because they might snap off, right? So just to kind of put in the same location, now that I know where the pins are, you kind of want to go right here and right here, okay? And then hopefully it should come off. So it's nice that it's not like crazy glued together. It's like some sort of weird sticky rubbery glue. So that's a great thing that Mini GT chose to do. Well, I mostly see like crazy glue or some sort of hard glue that destroys plastics if you try to break it. So anyways, we got 3 screws then on this guy, and these seem to be chamfered, these rear ones, whereas the front one was just like more of a button head. So it's interesting. 2 different screw types. Okay. So if anyone's curious about the inside of these, I've never opened one of these before on a Mini GT. Pretty thick axles, and then this interior piece. Obviously you don't need to remove the interior, but I'm just kind of curious to see what it looks like. If I can, I don't know, it's pretty hard in there. I don't know what's trapping it in there. The rear seems to want to come out. Well, that's too bad. I can't get the front part out. Alright, well, I guess I will not be removing the interior. I guess I could actually just put that back on. I really just took it apart to get the knees off without destroying the wheels, So if I screw this back on, I guess it'll work anyways. So in fact, why don't I go ahead and do that? Okay, so that's kind of an issue. It's so far recessed into the body that the front wheel is going to need to have a spacer, a couple spacers. So I'll take that out for now. Let's see what the rear ends up looking like. Okay, I think the rear, if I wanted to actually flush with the outside, yeah, I think it's recessed too much. It kind of looks like a lowrider hidden underneath the fender. So, alright, so this is going to take some time. Okay guys, there's the finished result. I think it turned out pretty well. So I'll talk about what I did here. If you guys want to tackle this yourself, you're going to have to get some spacers. For the rear, I ended up putting these M3 plastic nuts in there as spacers. So you can look up like M3 nylon nuts or something, and I have one of those on each side of this. And then for the front, I have that same nut, but also just a little black plastic washer. I think this is probably an M3 as well. Yes, it is. It's the same diameter. So it's just a M3 nylon washer. So you can see, you know, hopefully you can see the clear nut and then the washer. So that's basically what I had to do. These are not the most expensive wheels that you can buy, and it shows. I'm noticing, hopefully you can tell, maybe if I flip it over, the tires are not even. Hold on, let me get better light. You see how thin the tire is right there at the top of the wheel? But if I rotate this, that's how thick it should be. Right? So if I rotate it again, it thins out right there. There's simply not enough rubber. So this rubber tire just isn't even on that front wheel. This back one's not an issue really. Those are generally the same thickness. So on this side, the back one, this also seems like a little thin here, but when I flip it up here, it's a little bit thicker. And then the front wheel, well, there's a lot of weird extra flashing as well. I ended up flipping a bunch of the wheels. Here's it seems a little bit thin here, and then it's thick here, right? So WORDC, in the very improbable event that you would actually see this video, you got to figure out a better way to make your tires one consistent thickness, because it's kind of weird to have, you know, this an ovaloid type of tire. They should be circular, not oval. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so even so, I think for a modern vehicle, these wheels work pretty well. You can't really put them on old classic cars because the diameter is just too tall. I mean, these wheels probably would measure like 20, 21, 22 inches in the real world. I didn't actually measure them. Maybe next time I will. But they do definitely look better than the ones that Audi designed. So I'm happy with the result. Just be mindful, yeah, it only seems to want to work on modern vehicles that have big wheels to begin with, or big wheel wells. I suppose you could put these on like trucks and stuff like that, you know, if you want to go for like a slammed truck look. I do have a few others, so as I come up with some more models that need some new wheels, I'll continue these videos. So until the next time, thanks.